Good morning, everybody. It's Friday. Friday morning, Facebook Live. It's Sharon Wilson from Stampin' with Sharon this morning. I hope you can join me. I hope I get a few people joining me today. As always, you can always shop with me, stampinwithsharon.com.au. But good morning, Sharon Wilson, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Australia. I'm so pleased you can watch my video and join me. I'm hoping a few people join me live while I get creative. Today I'm going to be showing you a few things from the last chance products list. So the new mini catalogue, the July to December mini catalogue, is about to be released, and before that happens we've got a retiring list of products from the January to June mini catalogue that is disappearing very soon. There's some products that's gone over to the annual catalogue, but there's many gorgeous products that are being retired at this point in time, which is really sad. And there's some things I haven't even used yet. It's like, can't believe I haven't even used that yet. I think I used someone else's product but hadn't actually bought the stamp set myself. So I had then bought the stamp set and I haven't used it since. So today I want to show the Tulip Fields, there we go, the Tulip Fields stamp set. So this one is absolutely gorgeous. There's so many beautiful designs that you can make with this. I don't know if I actually use this particular one, but I did actually just mount it straight into my case just before I started. So obviously I haven't used this one yet. And I'm going to use a Stamparatus and these ones predominantly, but we'll see how we go, see what I create today. I actually like these sorts of things because it challenges me to use something that I may not have used and not necessarily have ideas of exactly what I want to do, or have a few ideas of what I want to do, but then actually put it into practice, and sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. Yeah, this is what I'm using today. There's also the coordinating dies. So the coordinating dies as well, and these are Windmill Fields. So normally $57. So let me just see if I can get up to my little list, because I've actually got a few things in there that in my shopping list, so it sort of gives me a bit more of an idea of what I'm actually talking about. So there's the Windmill Fields dies, which normally $57. They're reduced to $39.90. And the Tulip Fields stamp set, normally $32, reduced down to $22.40. So two very good products that are retiring and discounted quite heavily. So yeah, do you really want to be that person that goes, oh yeah, I want to get that, and then gets distracted and then goes, oh, I missed out, someone else bought it instead? So grab it while you can, while you think about it. Even if you want to log on now and shop with me now, go for it. See what you can do, see whether you can get. But the sale finishes at the end of June, so 30th of June, and all the products are gone. And a lot of products actually sell out during the retiring part as well, so you want to get them before they disappear for good. But I want to play with the Tulip Fields. Oh, sorry. I've got my grid paper. So this is the in color grid paper that you can see here. So this is one of the other colors. I think this is the Orchid Oasis color. So this is pretty. So sorry, I forgot to clean my glasses before I got on, so I'm just going to do a quick clean. Alright, so I want to grab my Stamparatus. So I want to grab this one. You can see all my lights around. I've got an extra light today because I want to see if I can brighten up the desktop. So I'm going to use my magnets as the guide. I'm going to try and stamp up the top here, I think that's what I want to try and do. So I'm going to pull out this stamp first, and I'm just going to try and line that up more in the center, and then bring my plate down. And because I've actually got that there, I'm going to rotate it because it's a bit easier for me to ink up if it's to my right. So I'm just going to use some, what is this one? This one's Fresh Freesia. So this is one of the current ink colours. So I pulled out all of my ink colours today because I just thought I'll play with them first. And the beautiful thing with the Stamparatus is that you can just go back and re-ink again if you feel like it hasn't really added the extra ink that you need. So that looks a bit better. I think that's much better. Okay, so I'm going to pull it out of there though because we're now going to just use a stamp. And so grab out this one. I've just realised I haven't checked to see whether this would actually even fit, which is not going to, of course it's not. Hang on, what blocks did I bring? No. Oh dear. Ugh, that one. That block will work. Okay. So, and so the idea is you actually work your way around. So I may have done it too high. I definitely have. I've done it too high. That's okay. I can always chop it. So let's start with, yeah, well, let's do some polished pink. So this, I'm actually going to stand up to do some stamping because I want to make sure that I actually get the right depth. So let's hope I don't get my head in the way. Sorry. Yep, I'm going to get my scarf in the way. And then around this way, like that. And I did grab out my chamois, but I've put it somewhere. There it is. Oh, I can feel it. There we go. There's my chamois. So I've got my chamois out today rather than my Stampin' scrub. I still have my Stampin' scrub. I'm just going to use my chamois because it's going to be a bit quicker, I think. I'll leave that colour out for the moment. And what other one I might try? Let's try some Orchid Oasis. And hopefully I won't try. I'll try not to get in the shot again. Sorry if I do. That's quite dark, isn't it? So we definitely wanted it lower, but that's okay. We'll just keep working with what we've got, hey? And then I'll try again. See if I can correct what I've done. I think the pale papaya might be a bit too pale. Let's go with some sweet sorbet as well. Yeah, it's not quite right, that's for sure. Because overlapping a bit. Not sure about this bit, so good morning, Manda. So I was a bit late with starting my stream this morning. I actually pressed go live at 10 AM and then I left it go for a minute and a half before I started, so I'm a bit late too. I'm not liking what I'm doing right now, so I'm gonna try. I might trim that down and see if I can save it first before I dispose. I think even just doing that makes a bit of difference. So what I might do, I'll use that as my mask, and I do have my blending brushes with me. So I'm going to grab out my Balmy Blue. And I'm just going to do a bit of blending. Just try and create the sky. I don't think I laid the stamp down straight, did I? There we go. That's a bit better. So I have that, and then I should have used the other side. I should have used that side, and then I could have used that. Oh, never mind. Oh, wrong one. I meant to do that and then do that. Sorry. So now you can see me. Oh dear. Now, what do I want to do? Do I want to lay it onto a fresh freezer? Ugh, I don't think so. You know when you can see it? As soon as you lay it down onto a card, you go, oh, no, I can't do that one. Ugh. That was me. Didn't like the fresh freezer underneath at all. Let's try with some white, shall we? White might be alright. I'll try and just save it a bit, hey? It's not ideal, not the ideal card, but we will work with what we have. And what I might do is I'll make a shorter card today for this one. So let's score this at 10.5, and then I'm going to chop it. What am I chopping it to? So it's what, 12.8 centimeters, so let's go 13 point. Oh no, sorry. Did I say 12.8? No. Hang on, that way. That way. No, it's 10. It's 11.8. So let's go 12.3. So we've got our little card. We'll do our little card. And I had my bone folder here. I did have my bone folder here. I was using it before. There it is. I don't know. It's not going to work. Let's get rid of it. Throw it off the table. I'm going to pull out my little bike. I'm going to pull out the little bike die, this one. And I'm going to cut that out in black. So I have a small piece of black cardstock. And I also have, somewhere here, that I put down, a bit of the double-sided, the adhesive sheets. That's the adhesive sheets. So I'm going to just trim off a bit because I want to run this through the same time as run this on, like basically have the adhesive sheet on there, so then when I stick it on, like I don't need to have extra adhesive, and it gets into all the little sections and stuff. So I don't think this was wise. Come on, where's the thing that I can pull off? All right, let's try another way. Let's just pull it off this way. All right, let's pull off that one. I'm just going to do that. I couldn't do it. The bike is from the Windmill Fields. Windmill Fields dies. That's retiring. So that's this one. Windmill Fields. And if I am organised, I can go like this and show you. Where am I? PC. There we go. It's this one. And it's $39.90 right now. So you want to grab it before it's gone. I'll go back to me. I'm going to pull out my little die cutting machine, my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, to run this through. With the Stampin' Cut and Emboss, it actually tells you, whoop, wobble, wobble, wobble. It is a bargain. Bargain at twice the price. So that's the die cut one. So this is where your plates come in handy, because it tells you which ones you need. Whoops, wrong. So this is the die cutting one. So we want that one. And we want this one. Don't need the instructions. So we want plate number 1. We want plate number 2. You want to make sure you've got the bike going the right way, in the right space with the adhesive sheet. And then you want to put plate number 2, the other plate number 2 on top. And then you just run that through. I usually like to go backwards and forwards just so I know that it's got through. So it should actually die cut completely. But because you've got the die sheet, the adhesive sheet on there, sometimes because it's a bit thicker, it makes it a bit trickier. So, whoop. Let's just drop him on the floor. So the adhesive sheet is really good, but sometimes it gets a bit tricky when everything sort of sticks on there, and although it's gone through the cardstock, it's the actual paper sheet that's actually stopping it from lifting off completely. So you just need to be really careful pulling this one off. Oh dear. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab some scissors just to cut off the other bits, and then I should be able to work with it and pull off what I need to. So it's very, very delicate, so you want to be very careful. But if you take the adhesive sheet off, most of the extra bits will come off, and then you can actually, I use my finger because the extra bits are going to stick to your finger anyway. See? And I just find that way they come off cleanly, and then you've got your little bike. Whoop, where are we? There we go. You've got your little bike. So, and then you can just stick the bike down in the corner. So you could, if you need to have extra stability for something like the windmill fins, you can actually layer them on top of each other. So you can do the adhesive sheet on a couple of them, cut them out, and then the adhesive sheet makes it a bit easier just to stick them all together, and so you can get a bit more stability and stuff. But if you need good stability for the windmill fins, I assume that's what they're called, the other thing you can do is use the backing paper from your designer series paper. You can use that too. So that's another option. I had my little, there we go. I have a little magnet bowl that I can put my dies into. It's very helpful because sometimes you sort of tend to lose them when you're when you're working quickly, and you sort of put them down. You go, oh, I don't know where I put them now. But this one, I think I'm going to pair it up with. Oh, I was going to do some bright yellow. I did have bright yellow too. I think I'm going to pair it up with some yellow, Mango Melody, I think. So pull back my stamp set. And there's actually no words in this one, so that's not really helpful, is it? So I think I need to just go and grab another stamp. So sorry, just bear with me for a sec. Sorry, I'm back. Oh, my wall has done something. My wall is lopsided. There we go. My wall is lopsided. Alright, so I've pulled out the Happy For You, but I think I'll use On the Horizon. So this one's retiring as well. I can't recall what this one is retiring for, like whether it's what was it, On the Horizon. I've got my light right here, and so that's why I have to sort of bend over. Sorry. Silly. So this, yeah, this is retiring, but it's not reduced. It's $41 for the On the Horizon, but it is still a fabulous stamp set, and we used that last week, didn't we? So I'm going to do Relax and Enjoy Your Day, and wonder if I might actually do it in a cloud. See how that looks. Just something a bit different. Do you reckon that works, Manda? I want to get the balmy blue. I think that's all right. It's something quick. It's using some dies, so it's not a beginner card, but you probably can. You can still have a bit of a play with this one. Definitely not beginner cards, I don't think, today. Not as much anyway. Down here, I think just there. I reckon that's all right. I'll do some dimensionals on this one as well, and make it pop up, which they're here somewhere. There is some. So one thing I didn't actually look for, I didn't check to see whether there was any sentiments in that stamp set. I always forget something. It wouldn't be me if I remembered every single thing and didn't hop up halfway through. I think I like the I do like the yellow, because I think it does need a bit of yellow for that one. So I do like that. And then you've also got a little windmill. So you could, that was the other thing you can do, is obviously you can put the windmill, stamp the windmill and cut that out, die cut that out, because it's got a windmill die in there as well. So it's got this little one, which coordinates with this stamp. And then you can also build the windmill itself as well. So you've got that one, and you've got the fins, or the blades. The blades, that's what they're called. They're called blades. And I think I showed you my my frame with the windmill in it as well last week. So this one also has little fence palings. Oops. So you've got some of them, and then you've got more here. So there's quite a few little fence palings. You've got the clouds. So and then you've got the bits of tulip as well. That's what I put them down to. I'm pretty sure they're tulip bits. Because I don't think it's them. Might be them, but I feel like they're tulips rather than this bit. Yeah, I don't know. But that's my first one. It's very simple. I'm not completely happy with it because I didn't line it up as well as I should have. But let's try another one, and I think this time what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to stamp them, and then I'll cut them out, and then I can place them. So if I ink up the Orchid Oasis, so if I try and fit as many as I can on there, my Stampin scrub. There we go. The chamois. I put the chamois down. The other thing that's also retiring is the tulip paper, which is Flowering Fields, I think it's called. That's retiring as well. And so that's a beautiful pack of paper. And I can show you them. So I brought them all up on my laptop this morning, so I can show you the screen. Oops, sorry. The page. I need to learn to put things in a certain spot each time so I know where to grab it from. I'm really quite bad at that. I might do some yellow. I'll do Mango Melody. So these should be pretty quick to chop up because they're straight lines. So this should be very easy to chop. And then I'll do some sweet sorbet as well. And let's see how that all looks, and we can mix and match what we like. So you could probably use the trimmer to do this, and maybe I might switch to that actually, because the trimmer I can probably do, maybe not, I don't know. It takes longer to line up, whereas I can just trim quick. There you go, one's already done. This is where you sort of go, oh, here's one I prepared earlier, and have all the bits already stamped and ready to go. Why do we always put things down? We put things down on our desk and then we go, I don't know where I just put that. And it's like the chamois was sitting right on top of everything on my right. But I'm looking over my left, I'm looking in front of me. I don't know. But definitely need to put stuff down in the same spot each time. But if you look at my desk, you can sort of go, it's probably why you can't find anything, Sharon. There is so much on my desk and surrounding it at the moment. So, I probably could move my face camera to show you, but I might try and take a photo afterwards. The craft of math. Doesn't take too long to chop these out. So there's also, I want to let everyone know, there is actually a craft sale happening tomorrow. If you live in Sydney, it's at Kings Langley Scout Hall. I've actually got it on my Facebook page. I've got a post earlier this week. And if you're one of my customers, you should have received a newsletter from me overnight. And that has the craft sale list on there as well. It's Kings Langley Scout Hall. It's from 9 till 12 tomorrow, the 4th of June. So if you want to grab some bargains of retired Stampin' Up product, it's a fabulous time. There's, I think, I'm not sure how many are there. There are. So I think there's, what, 8, 12, maybe 14 of us that are selling product that's retired. So if you want to grab yourself a bargain, yeah, come out to Kings Langley, say hi to me. You know what I look like, so come and tell me that you watch me live. I'd love to say hi. So there's those bits. So then I'm just going to grab, where did I put my Stamparatus down? I put that down somewhere. There it is. I'm also going to just stamp this one as well, so just pull my magnets out of the way, and if I line that up out there, that should get me out of trouble. I think it's the mess my desk is usually in that is yes. Let's blame the desk. Let me just put this one away. Oh. I did put a bit of sticky stuff on my grid paper just to try and keep it still, but only put it in one spot, so right in the center, so it wibbles. Okay. Almost done for this one, and then we might actually make a box. I thought we might just do a little bit of a, make a 3D project. I don't normally do 3D projects, do I? Don't think I've done any 3D projects. So I thought we might do a little bit of a box. So I need that one, and I'm gonna need some, I want to do some crumb cake. Where is my crumb cake? I don't know, I put it somewhere. There it is. Here we go. Yeah, that'll work. Sorry, I'm off the screen. Sorry, I just wanted to score the line. And so this one, I had a bit of a, on the, where is it? Is it that one? That's not that one, it's this one. Oh yeah, so this one. So So if I go to the PC, so this is the card I'm looking at, this one here. That's the idea that I was trying to sort of recreate. So just try and recreate that one so it sort of looks a bit similar. So then now I've shown you that one, I'll go back to there. So try and recreate it somehow, but I might need to chop it at certain spots, so I don't know, I might bring it down a bit. Will that work? No, not yet. What if I actually did them as my guide? Does that work? I think that works probably a bit better actually. And then I had I was showing off the New Horizons paper last week, and I was looking at this paper. I was actually looking at this paper, and this bit here looks very much like a sky. And so if I did something like this, I was actually wondering whether I could get away with having that as the sky, which is what I'm going to try and do that. I'll try and do that. I'm not sure if I'll use the crumb cake now. I might change that up. But I want to use this bit as the sky, because you can see all the clouds, and although I think on the other side it's actually more water, I like how this is like a bit of a cloud. So let's get my black. We'll do it, I think we'll do it on black today. So I might make it a full size card front. So I'm chopping this down to 14.85 by 10.5. So let's stick that down. I'm just going to go for it and hope that it turns out the way I'm sort of imagining it to turn out. So I'll trim it down at the end, but so they're not long enough. Definitely not long enough. So maybe let's go with that one. Go. Try and meet those points there. If you craft along with me when I do the box, get a 6x6 piece of designer series paper. That's what I'm going to be using. Bit too much glue on that one. can do. I think that point isn't going to work because I really need them a tiny bit thicker, don't I? I need them sort of a bit higher up. I need them probably about there. So, I might grab out my paper trimmer and just try and shimmy off a bit and hope that I don't chop off too much. So I'll do that bit. I'm not quite straight, I think. There we go. Do that bit. And then, nope, I still need a tiny bit more off, I think, unless I do it all the way up there. But that's going to be tricky. I think that one's okay. I need to sort of chop along there, I think. There. So maybe about there. Yee! That's a fair bit off. Let's see how we go. I've got my little nail markings. They always say, measure twice, cut once. We'll see. Yeah, that's probably not ideal. I need it up there, really. I need it there. So, see if that works a bit better. No. See how they're not quite, just not quite lining up. I don't know if that's a problem if we see the black. What if I actually, yeah, I'm struggling to tuck it underneath. That's my problem. It's one of my problems. One of the many. Do you know what I could do? I should have done white here. That's what I should have done. So, yeah. This is how you hack a card, isn't it? This is how you hack a card. You make it work. You make it work by putting something else in its place. This is so dodgy. No, I'm gonna stick it. I'm gonna stick it and have a bit of black coming through. It's a bit of the black dirt. I just can't make that work. So unless I actually, hang on. What if I did that? Does that work? If I do that one and then if I did, no, that's not going to work. But if I did, okay. All right. So if I do this one, I think I've worked it out now. Do this one and then that over the top. There we go. Sorted. I think I've sorted it. I've worked it out. There we go. How's that? I think that's all right. I stuck it down to my workbench. Oh dear. All right. Let's trim this down. where I know I'm off the page, I'm off the thing. There we go. Oh wow. Sometimes some cards just take longer than others. Even when I'm trying to be tricky, and it just wasn't really working. That's better. I like that one. Now that I've done the other bit, that actually works, I think. And so now I think I want to try and do a windmill. Where's my windmill die? Not that one. Yeah, no, I think I will end up doing that one. So let's do a windmill. And I'll see if I've got another piece of crumb cake. Oh, there you go. This one, this will do. Oh, that's not going to fit. It won't fit. Okay. Let's just pull that bit off. So, stamp and windmill, and I didn't bring any crumb cake over, so what colour windmill do we do? See, this is what happens. You sort of go, yeah, I've got everything I need. No, I don't. Can I do a blue one? A starry sky one? Or an evening evergreen? Evening evergreen? So on the card so far, it's polished pink, fresh freesia, mango melody, and orchid oasis. I think I really need the brown. I'm gonna go and get the early espresso, I think. So, early espresso. Early espresso. That should be better. I do like my brick wall, because if I didn't have my brick wall up, you'd see all the other mess that I've got going on behind me. I have all my craft sale stuff behind me. That's what I have. All my craft sale stuff. Actually, I might do two. I might add a windmill to the other one as well. See how I feel. Do you like my brick wall, Amanda? And my plates. So I have extra tulips left over. So let's cut this one out. There is a magnetic board for the big Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. I haven't got that yet. I think it's on its way. I should be getting it Monday or Tuesday or something. So there's my windmill. And let's just cut another one out. The windmill is pretty cute. I really do like it. I've got to ask myself if I want to get rid of it once this does retire or not. I think it might be a keeper at this point. There are some stamp sets I do keep. I don't get rid of too quickly. And then there are others that go, yeah, I'm done with that one. I'm happy to let it go. But I definitely have my favourites that I like keeping. But then I get to a point where it's like, no, I don't need that one anymore at all. I can definitely pass it along. So I could do that windmill up there on the relax one. I think that could still work. But I was wondering whether I put that about there, which actually covers the joins. Yes, I did enjoy my creation at Stamp Camp. That was the one I showed everyone last week. I was extremely proud of the fact that I won at Stamp Camp. So my upline Morel, the amazing Morel, she runs a Stamp Camp for the ladies in her team, and it's a retreat I don't miss because I love it, because I get to go there and not necessarily do anything. I don't have to do shoe boxes if I don't want to. I don't have to do presentations if I don't want to. And so yeah, it's a great retreat, and she always has challenges, and I never win the challenges ever. Like ever. I try and try, but there is so much talent. So obviously the talent was missing. No, I can't say that. There was a lot of talent there, and I just did happen to win. Because I had my windmill that was actually spinning. So I don't mind that now. I like the dark grey clouds in the background. I might just pull out my bike again though and do another bike. Because I do like the little bike. Oh, thanks, Manda. I think I've grown over the years, and I think I've grown even just doing my my Facebook Live. I think I've grown in the way I do my crafting. So this challenges me, because it makes me use things that I challenge myself. Excuse me, especially during retirement time, because I want to show everyone all these great products that are going, and want to let you know that there's a great sale on. And so I try to use the stamps and have a vague idea of what I want to do, but they don't come out the way I want it to. So I've enjoyed doing crafting on Friday mornings. It's been a treat. It's been a real treat doing it. So, and I appreciate everyone that watches me and makes comments, because it makes it a bit more fun. Makes it fun rather than me just talking to myself. Which I'm very good at too. I'm very good at talking to myself. Let's go. We'll go there. So I could do a fence, but I'm not going to do the fence. I think I'm struggling with the bike. So my fingers are struggling with the bike. All right. Let's go relax and enjoy your day. So what do I want to do that on this time? I want to do that in the sweet sorbet. I don't know. I might do it in early espresso, because I'll pick up the early espresso from there. I appreciate you coming every week too. It's nice. I don't know if that's going to fit. Look at that. Will it fit in that one? Oh, just shy of fitting in that small one. So let's go with the scallop oval. and I feel like it needs something around the edge. I think that's going to be too much. Let's go with a bit of... Have you seen this technique? I love this technique. I just roll the sentiment around in the ink. No sponging. Just roll it around. I don't think it's quite the right colour, but I'm going to do it. I'll finish off these ones here. These two. It's probably not the right thing. I think if I should probably just do a banner, but I'll stick this one down too. And use the edge of the dimensionals to pop them up and keep the fins or the blades stable. I haven't mounted this other one on a card yet, card base. It's just the image at the moment. There you go. Let's do that one, and then card base. I just need a card base. Nope, nope, nope. Doesn't really need to be any colour, does it? No, everything's collapsing. There you go, thick basic white. So, score this one at 10.5. And then chop down to 15.85. And I have my little card base. It's one of my favourite things to do, Amanda. I figure it just makes it a bit, just separates it slightly, but doesn't make it so stark. So I really like it. I really like the effect that it is, and I do it on so many things like that. It's, yeah, just add something extra, especially if you've got white on white and you don't really want the white on white. You want to have something breaking up the colour or the whiteness of things. It's, yeah, it's a really simple thing that you can add without adding another layer again. So I want to try and line this up as straight as I can. There we go. Alright, so, oop, there's sticky stuff there. That's my second card. There's my first card. They're not too bad. Yeah, not too bad. So the box, a bag, I'm going to show a bag, and then I was playing with the box before, but I didn't quite get the thing right. So this is the a little, like a bit of a milk bottle, yeah, like the cardboard milk carton thing, and so it's, I don't know, it's 1 inch wide by 1 3/4 across in inches, and then it's I can't remember. This was a poodles.co.uk. So Sam Hammond did this one, and so I was having a quick look through videos this morning and found this one from I think 7 years ago, I think it was. So I wanted to get the design right, and then I could add some elements to it. So if you start with your 6x6 piece of design series paper, but you want to make sure if it's got a pattern like this one does, you want to just make sure that you're going to be lining it up the correct way. And so that's the only trick to think about, lining everything up the right way. So I'm just going to clear a couple of things out of the way for me. So, because I have my measurements here. So this one, so this is where we want the top of it to go. So I'm going to score that one at 1/2 inch now. So I'm going to do a bit of a different way than what Sam did it. Oops, I just ripped that, I think. Did I rip it? I went a bit too rough on that one. Oh dear. It's alright. Just don't do it too hard. And so then I want to score it. Hang on, that's the 5.5. Hang on. 5.5. So I'm working backwards. That's what I'm doing. That's my problem. Because she's worked on the board, the Stampin scoreboard, whereas I'm not working on the scoreboard. I'm working on more designer series paper. On this thing, on the paper trimmer. So, all right, I'm gonna just start. I'm just gonna try. Here we go. All right. Have your paper facing whichever way. If this is, you want to have it, you want to score this way if you need the paper to be up and down. Okay, so these are the measurements for the up and down bit. So we're going to be doing these score lines first. I hope that makes sense. I'm hoping that makes sense. We're going to score these lines first. So I'm going to score at 1 inch. So I'll work straight across. And with DSP, you don't want to press too hard, as you've discovered when I did the last score. 2 3/4. 3 3/4. And, oh, I have to rotate it, sorry, hang on. And 5.5. Sorry, I had to rotate, so I'm still the same way, but my measurements were wrong. So I've scored it at 1, 2 3/4, 3 3/4, and 5.5. So 1 inch, 2 3/4, 3 3/4, and 5.5. That's what I've scored so far. So that's the longs. That's going to be the up and down bit. So then you want to rotate, and you want to score at 1 inch, 4.5 inches, and then ideally you want to flip it over, but I don't think it matters, and score at 5.5 inches. So hopefully you've got that, Manda. So this side is 1 inch, 4.5, and 5.5 inches. Where it is, there it is. Ugh. Sorry, my eye is itchy. So I'll put that one aside. Then you want to score, burnish all the fold lines. I may have to redo this one. You want to score backwards on this one. So the reason you flip it is because you're scoring it back. But I personally, I don't think it matters that much. I don't think it matters that much. And then you want to do the long sides as well. Ah, I keep going crooked. Drives me crazy, that. And then this one over. Yeah, see, I ended up cutting it by mistake. Like, I didn't mean to rip that. Never mind. So once you've burnished them all, you want to get rid of this little bit, this little tag bit down here in this bottom corner. and you can actually do a bit of a notch in the bottom of that one. You don't want to do it at the top though. Okay, so you've got a piece that's like that. The next bit is you want to trim up to the score line here. So you want to just have it cut up to here. And then the other two as well. Okay, so you've got those tabs all separated. Then this bit here, we're going to put some glue. So I'm just going to use my Stampin' Seal. You probably should use Stampin' Seal Plus or the tear and tape, or even Tombow. So you can also use your liquid glue. I'm just using this just because it's quick and I'm doing it on live. So you can then fold that bit over, so fold those two pieces over, and then fold this section over. And so that there means that because the way we scored it, it'll actually sit perfectly on there. And so this is the back side, the one with the seal. So that's the seal right there. And so that's going to be the back side of the box. Then you can fold these two tabs over, and the back of the box is there, so you want to fold that bit down that's at the back. Okay, and then you want to, I might switch to Tombow just to make sure I can get it closed properly. You want to just close that over like that. And so you can use your bone folder just to make sure. So I'll show you the box that I did do. We might make that box too, but I did do that upside down. So then you want to just start squeezing in. That's meant to sit out, but start squeezing in the sides. And if you find that it sits in like that, I just tend to pop that bit out and then try and fold it again without it sitting in. Maybe I didn't burnish them enough or something, I don't know, but that's okay. So you can do that. I feel like it needs to sit down a bit lower, but that's probably just me. Once you put stuff in there, you should be able to have it pop out a bit more. So then I've put a clip on there. So these are the two boxes, and so with this paper, the one I've done, it's just completely different patterns on the paper. So you get a different look when you create these ones. You get a different type of look on both sides of the boxes, and so the boxes look different, which is nice. So I'll make a little sentiment to go on that one. So I'll just get out the horizon one again. I'm just going to do breathe. I think we all need to breathe. And I might just go a bit of sweet sorbet, and I'm going to use my double oval punch. Actually, no. Sorry. I'm going to use Highland Heather or Gorgeous Grape. Gorgeous Grape I'll use. So I'm just going to punch out, I'll do them both. I'm just going to punch out a couple of scalloped ovals and grab, the breathe isn't going to be big enough. Maybe I should just do relax. I'll do relax and I'll just won't ink up the whole thing. That's what I'll do. So I'll just grab my Gorgeous Grape. So if you, to not ink up the bottom part, what I do is I'll use that bit. Try and cover up as much as you can. Oh, see the day is there. That'd be a bit trickier. It's alright. Let's just try. Usually a post-it note's probably a bit better than this, but let's just see if I can do it in the first place. No, I'm not going to. Hang on. Post-it note's actually easier. I'm just going to try and smudge it off. Not ideal, I know. If you cut down your chamois, you could probably do it easier too. Because you try and not have the ink on there, obviously. So let's see if that works. That's pretty darn close, I think. So let's just go with that. Oop. That's pretty close. There is a bit of a smudge, but nothing a rhinestone won't cover up. Oops. Come on, there we go. There it is. And then you can just add that onto your box. There's a couple of little smudges there. I think that's more from my fingers than anything else though. And so you've got your little box. But yeah, a couple of little rhinestones strategically placed will cover those things up, won't they? Oh, sit, stay. Now, if I actually got my marker, that won't sit there. There we go. If I actually got my marker, that's probably the easier way of doing it as well. So let's just try it again with the chamois. Yeah, I didn't bring any of my embellishments over with me this time. I was going to, and then I went, nah, it's alright. I'll do without. Let's see if this one works. That's much better. Look how good that one is. Come on, in you get. There we go. There. Yeah, see, I've still got ink all over my hands. Couple of dimensionals. And then, so you could do off center, but I don't think it really matters if you do go over one side. And so there are my little projects. Let's move that out of the way. So there are those projects. So the box I was going to show you is this one, but it's a bit upside down too. So this was a Sam Hammond one as well, but I actually cut it incorrectly. I cut too much off the sides, so I need to go back and make it properly and the right way up. But these would be, it's a great way to use up some designer series paper. This is a great way to use up some designer series paper. And this is retiring as well. This paper is going, I think it's $14 at the moment. I can have a quick squeeze, quick look, looky look. yeah, $14. So the New Horizons paper is going as well, and that's $14. And this paper is going. This is 12 by 12, and it's $14 as well. So I would get in quick and purchase those things, those items, before they're gone. Thanks so much for joining me. I hope to see you at the craft sale tomorrow if you're in Sydney. Tomorrow, the 4th of June 2022, from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. there will be, I think, about 14 of us that will have a table, and we're selling all of our stuff. We really want to go home with empty boxes. So it'd be really helpful if you could come out and come and buy some stuff from us. That would be lovely. And come and say hi. And you could probably even meet Manda, because I'm pretty sure Manda's going to be there too. Aren't you, Manda? So I think she's a couple of tables down from me. So yeah, come and say hi to me and say hi to Manda. And yeah, I look forward to seeing you soon. I'll be here again next week. Next week is what, the 10th of June. Yes, I should be here next week. And I'll show you something else that's retiring. So thank you. Yeah, thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate you watching and taking the time. And I hope I've inspired you to be creative and make some beautiful things and just experiment with the stamps that you have and have a play. So there's no mistakes in card making. And you know what? It's the way we learn when we do make mistakes. It's the way we learn and how we grow and change. So yeah, so I look forward to seeing you next week, or tomorrow, hopefully tomorrow, but next week if I don't see you before then, and we will see what I can come up with next week. So thanks for joining me. See you next time. Bye. Oh, wrong one. Sorry.